Let's start with this presentation. So today we are going to see how to set up your lights within the software, which means adding the lights to the 2D view, design your 2D view, your layout, and see how you can use all the provided tools, and of course patch the lights to the DMX universe. Okay, so why I can't move this mouse? Okay, there you go. Okay, let me open this, close this. Okay, fine. So so this is the to switch from the hardware configuration, well, the standalone window and the editor. You have to switch with those two buttons from the toolbar. So today we are going to see the build screen, which is the first tab from that specific window. So here is the 2D view, 2D grid. So you can zoom in, zoom out with the button. You can center, you can move. There are a couple of other tools here from the toolbar, which are more for to align or give specific position to your lights within the view. So as we've seen in the previous one of the first webinar, for those who were attending it, and for the other one, here are the different lights, different kind of lights we can add to the software. There are 4 different possibilities, plus the 5th one, the last one, which is the library of features, like of the Nicolodi library, the SSL2 feature. So this includes most of the manufacturers, lighting manufacturers. So you have to select your device, and if you wanted to have any moving head or special features. Most of the time for this specific market, we're gonna use only standard LED features. So those 4 buttons will be enough. So it can be and the first one is a single channel light, so mostly used for white or white lights. So you can specify a different shape for the light. It can be round, square, or rectangle. Then you have to select the number of lights you want to assign, you want to add, and then the name of those ones, so they can be horizontal test. And this particular option is to directly open the DMX patch window, which allows you to not to do the patch directly without having to do that later on. So let's say, for example, you want to have 10 rectangle white lights. They are here, and as you can see, it has opened directly the patch window. So we've got here the possibility to add more universes. As I remember, I can remind you that the software is limited to 100 DMX universe at the moment. So you can press automatic patch, and I have patched my lights to the universe 1. You press OK, and now those lights are patched to the view. So you can see here the name I have specified, which is test. The type of light, which is single channel, and the DMX address. So basically, you can use the available tools to move your lights, or do some. Once again, there you go. So there is a possibility to select different tools here, which are more for arranging the lights within the screen. Oh, Okay, this is to move. So what I need is now this one. Okay. So imagine you want to move the light. In fact, what happened here, I had the screen, the navigate option locked. You need to press again to release it and go back to the selection mode. You can see, like, if I press it now, I'm locked with this feature. You have to press again to release it. So now you can either select one or multiple lights. You can use the control or button or command on Mac to have a multiple selection. And you can, like, as I say, like, modify the position. You can resize as well, like this. You can eventually use the provided tool, like put them in a line, vertical, circle, create a matrix. Several options available. You can also, like, select them and put them like this using the line on top, left. I mean, this, if you are familiar with picture editing software, we just use the same tool. So you can, again, if you want to modify the position, you could do like that. Imagine there's something you like. For example, let's say this is the left side of your install, and you want to copy this. There is a possibility, instead of going to add light, patch the light again, you have the possibility to select them, right click and duplicate. So you can see that now I have duplicated the exact same light with the same layout. So it's very useful when you've done, like, a kind of complicated positioning, and you don't want to do that again, especially if you have, like, hundreds of different points or lights in the screen. It will be like, it would make your programming easier. So these are basic standard white lights. So from this screen here, you can select them. Multiple selection is also available, and you can also, like, select them like this and use the duplicate button directly from this list, or the delete if you wanted to remove all your features. So this was the simple light, simple single channel. Then the second option is the color, which is the one we're going to use the most for dynamic lighting, at least. First of all, you have to select the type of feature. So by default, this is RGB for red, green, blue. But as you might know, there are some manufacturers who might have, like, used a different way of addressing their 3 channels. Sometimes it's red, blue, green, or blue, red, green, whatever. All options are available from this window. And of course, you can have a 4th or 5th channel, the white or amber or whatever like that. So imagine you want to use a 4-channel RGB white. You just press this. Again, you can select how you want the lights to be displayed on the grid. So let's say round for now. Number, if you wanted 100, and you can press OK to then patch the light. From this window, you can, of course, this is the automatic patch, then you have the possibility to change the DMX address of one or multiple features. Okay, so now my hundreds lights are inserted into the grid and the patch. So you can use the zoom, you can change the size, okay, the layout, whatever. You can also put them, like, in a circle. Oh, I guess. Okay, here it is. You can change the size. Okay. So now, Let's create a circle, and this is what I said before. If you wanted to copy and paste this specific one, you just duplicate. So I've got the same one now, and imagine you want to do something a bit fancy. You could do that. So I know we don't play sports at the moment, but this could be like a stadium or whatever like that. Okay. So yeah, so everything is well, not everything is possible, but I remember we had a question in one of the first like webinars. The question was, how can we add a bitmap at the as a background, so we could have like the lights integrated to your real, like you can take a photo of or like AutoCAD, whatever, and load this file as a bitmap onto the grid, and then it makes it easier to make it easy to set up the positions. So let's see now. So the different tools that we have here, I guess everyone can understand. I mean, they're like some basic tool, like select one of two, select all, reset the selection, put them in a. There is also like the possibility to select like this. You see, okay. I mean, there are like many different solutions. So if you just wanted to play your sequence in a part, it has to be done like this. So imagine now you want the third kind of flight is the strip, which is something like you could use for like flexible LED strip, for example. You could do that also with by aligning the points. This is what I was doing, like with the single point. But here they will act as a single feature, so it's going to be easier then to move, to give like the strip a special shape or something like that. So imagine you want like to have in 100 pixels. So again, okay, automatic patch, press OK. So somewhere, where's the light? It's on the bottom. So this is my flexible strip. So you can, see, give it like a special dimension. You can eventually move it from up and down, left and right, and you can give a flexible option. So to do that, you just need to double click somewhere into the on the strip, and then move the point. And you can, of course, add more points to it. Oh, sorry, up. Okay, so this is not the right one. Okay, so you can create some fancy flexible lights. And so you can do whatever you want. So this is very useful. And remember the duplicate option, which can be like very powerful. If you imagine you've designed your own flexible strip, and you don't want to repeat that again and again and again, you can use the duplicate, and then just adjust, like, let's say, the position, for example, and do something like that. I mean, it's not very. I have not something very nice, but okay, let's do that, for example. Okay. So this is how you could set up your lights with this. There is no rotate option so far, or I haven't. Oh, sorry. Come on. Let's see, like this. Tuck. It would be great so you can do that, but maybe we could add an option to rotate as well. So this is something I have to see with Thomas. I don't know if Thomas is listening right now, but that would be great to have that option in the future version. Okay, so here we are with the lights, and the last one is the matrix. So let's reduce the size. Okay. Use this tool now. Put them on the side here, and if we wanted to add a matrix, let's press that button. Select RGB white. Let's say we have whatever 10 by 30, for example. It's like 10 by 10. Okay, you can change here the way the matrix is arranged. Say by default it's like this. Press OK. Automatic patch, and there you go. So the matrix is here. You can put it in the middle. And what is cool is now someone has connected the device into the local network. By the way, the window you've just seen was the if there is somehow an interface, so USB or Ethernet interface, like a Nicola interface connected to the computer or to the local network, the computer will the software will open that window to and tell you there is something connected now that I can use, and do you want to use it now? So this was the question I just had. This was my colleague, and I have a colleague downstairs. He's programming a device, and maybe this is the reason. Okay, you can see. So do not detect again. Okay. So here we are with this. So then there are like a couple of options. One important is the zones. By default, some of it will of course depend on the controller. Out there, some of our USB interfaces are multi-zone, some are not. If we are talking about for example, STIG DE3 or SLASA UE7, they offer the possibility to control multiple zones. So this is where you're gonna have to add your zone. So by default, the first one is global. It includes all the fixtures you've patched to the software, but you can decide to add more and give them like different names. For example, it could be like garden. Okay, this one could be the pool. And here are my zones. And now what you have to do is assign some of the lights to the zone. So for example, let's say like you want to add some lights to the pool. For example, imagine this is the pool. Oh, you need to be here. So imagine those 100 lights are within the pool. If you want to add those lights to a different zone, this can be done from the properties view on the right side of the screen. So this property view is updated when you select. It shows the properties of the selected lights, of course, or scenes if you are within the construction screen or whatever. So let's select the view here and put them in the pool. You can see the zone. Okay, so now if I open the pool view, I can see my matrix. And I could do the same, let's say, for those lights here. Imagine you want to add those one. Oh, that was not, this is not what I wanted to do. Let's do something fancy here. Okay. Okay, so imagine you want to put those ones, but not the matrix. I just use the control key to remove the matrix, and then you want to add this to the garden. So now this, I have the garden here and the pool. So why no more? I guess there is either a bug or I made a mistake, but I can see that the matrix has moved to a different zone. Okay, I have to check that. I don't know if Thomas has seen that, but I'll maybe have to do this again. So garden, you can see the garden light, and pool, these are the pool lights. So of course you have the possibility then to add your scene either to one of the zone or to all. If you of course create a scene into the global, they will be playing. You have the possibility to program all lights. But if you from the garden zone, you have the possibility to control the garden lights only. So an important thing you have to understand is that from the with our standalone interfaces, when you start a sequence within a zone, this will release the previous played scene. So which means, like, very basically, if you have like this is one scene played at a time. So if you press, like, if you have like a single zone controller, there is only the global view, the global zone, and as soon as you press, you call a scene, whether this is from the time trigger or with the buttons or whatever, or X zone trigger, the previous scene will be released. With the multiple zone devices, you will have the possibility to play and start several scenes at the same time. Okay. So we've seen the zones, and now something important is the selections. You can add some group. So this is of course where you're gonna build your scenes, but also where you can add some groups, some selections. So imagine, especially if you have some fancy selection like that, you don't want to repeat that like every time. You have the possibility to save them. Like, let's say, for example, you wanted to do a selection like that. Okay. Okay, doesn't look that good, but you guys will understand. So imagine you want, like, very often you have them to play some special effects on this specific selection. You better create a selection to not have to do that again. So this is my selection now. You can access it now. You just like so imagine I have selected something different, but if I press the let's release this. So now, okay, why it doesn't select? Okay, because I only have one. So maybe if I do like that, create a second selection. Oh, no, I made a mistake. When you press plus, it just had to the selection. This is correct, Thomas? Yeah, okay, so you have to create the I guess you have to create the selection first. How come I had a new one? Thomas, I need your help. It seems I have a problem to add a new selection. Selection. Okay, let's delete this one. No. If I select this and press plus. Okay, there seems to be a little misunderstanding somewhere. Anyway, this is where you should be able to create the selection. So I'll see what we can, if I miss something or if there is a problem within the software. It's not a big deal. So okay, so these are the selection and the mappings, which is the place where, but we've seen this when we were do the programming of the timeline. This is where you can design virtual selection like this, for example, virtual to play a sequence. So you can have like square or different layout. So what else? I guess I have seen like most of the option of the builder. We have seen this. I guess I'm almost done now. If you, yeah, this is what I've done. Like release the selection, but it doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know. There might be like something not working. I have to see this later. So anyone has a question? Question about this builder screen or like any other? Don't press plus, select light and press plus. Yeah, this is what I've done. Selection. You can write any question if you want to. And press plus. Okay, now it works. I don't know why I couldn't do that. Select this and press plus. I need to see why I couldn't do that before. Okay, anyway, so you have to select the light and then press the plus button. Okay, seems to work now. I was somehow not able to do it. I don't know. Maybe I pressed the wrong button. So you see, the idea is to create some different selection, and of course, if you wanted to add more light to this selection, now you can select and press plus. So which means I have now all the device added to the light, to the selection. Sorry. Okay, any question? Remember the webinar is being recorded, so you have the possibility to watch this again as a tutorial from our Nicolaudi YouTube channel. Anyway, previous webinars are also available. I have a couple of minutes left, so if you guys have any question, make sure you ask them now. Feel free to ask. No question. One, two, three, no question. Seems like there's no question for now. So if there is no question, I guess we are done for today. And so we can close this conversation. And I hope you enjoyed it and you have some nice time playing with the software. So next week I'll be talking about the controller memory, so how to write the memory of the standalone device. I will do that with a StickD E3 and a SLESA UE7, and I will be also talking about the future DINA device. So I know I have specified half an hour, but it might be take a bit more, like 45 minutes. So see you. Make sure you all safe. I don't know if you now have the possibility to leave your house, your home or not. In France, we are still obliged to stay at home, but can we program individual light effect? Can we program individual light effect? What does it mean? Maybe you can turn the mic on if you want to ask the question, like if it's easy to. Single light. What do you mean by single light? Single channel or just play? If you're talking about single channel light, yeah, this is what I said at the beginning. The first option is what I'm saying now. I'm showing now the first option from the toolbar. This one. So if this is like a single channel, let's put them in rectangle so we can or square. Imagine you've got 10. Press OK. Automatic patch. So they are here. Those one are single channel. So yeah, there is the possibility to use single channel light. It's not only for RGB. The only thing you have to use the dedicated button, which is the top one from the list. Was this the question? And of course, you can assign like different effects to those single light channels. Any other question? If not, I guess we're done. So as I said before, I don't know if you're able to move around your place or if you have to stay at home, but in both cases, stay safe and see you next week. Same time, like 4 p.m. Central Europe, which is Paris time zone. And we will talk about the standalone memory possibilities. All right, guys. See you next week.